Have you noticed how in all the trailers, helicopters are just crashing all over the place? This is probably attributed to the fact that it's dead easy to shoot down helicopters with no effort. The projectile speed on tank shells and RPGs are just way too fast in this game. I went back and played some Battlefield 3, and I realized that the older the battlefield, the slower the projectile was. The RPG projectiles are slower the older the game is. And it's to the point where you can just shoot down jets with RPGs if you feel like it. This is ridiculous, especially if you take into account how poor the controls are on helicopters. Their movement is pretty rough. Anyone who's played the beta might have noticed this minor detail in which one of 3 maps in the first weekend and only one of 4 in the second weekend was a large scale map that had both air and ground vehicles, opposed to the others all being super close quarters, tight, maybe having 1 or 2 tanks at most, and then Empire State just having no vehicles whatsoever. In Battlefield 3, rockets are so slow that tanks are the thing that are difficult to hit, and helis and jets are just out of the question. Battlefield 4, projectile speeds are fast enough where you could probably hit a helicopter, most likely not a jet. And then Battlefield 6, you can just hit whatever you want with RPGs. They just increased it so much. It's insane. I don't know if anyone's taken a look at the skins in Battlefield 2042 for Battlefield 6, but they're pretty out there and they're not grounded. And I think it's a pretty good indicator of the direction that it's going to go post-launch. I mean, this is already pre-launch. In 2042, I noticed that a lot of the air vehicles had pretty big hitboxes where you could hit RPG shots, and you could, it was totally a miss, and it counts as a hit. And my brother Will was like, oh, it's probably to, force these Battlefield moments where you're like, oh my god, I just hit a helicopter or a jet with my RPG, that's crazy. But it's just, not really earned because the hitboxes are just so big that it'd be hard to miss at that point. Closed weapons were only given to us in a single game mode or playlist at a time during the beta. That is a huge loss for Battlefield. I was forced into playing open weapons a lot because I wanted to do more than just Conquest in the first weekend. And then in the second weekend, if I wanted to play only Conquest, I was forced into Rush and Breakthrough if I wanted to close weapons. There are a lot of these small team game modes that they focused on with squad play and stuff. That's not why I play Battlefield, and I don't want it and I don't care for it. And the fact that there's a battle royale coming and still no server browser is really scaring me. I played Battlefield 3 yesterday. I looked at the server browser and I joined a match instantly. This game came out in 2011. Server browsers just prolong the game's lifespan pretty much indefinitely if there's paid for servers by players and they're keeping admins on banning cheaters. Minor thing, I want vehicles to show you who's in the vehicle with you. It's weird that you don't know who's in the vehicle with you if a random teammate joins, or even your own squad mate and you're not sure which one. You have to look down, look at the number, and then look to the left and see what number they are to see which squad mate they are. I hope they add a different color for friends versus squad mates. If I'm playing with friends and we either have more people than just one squad, or we have less people than a full squad, I want to know who's who versus the randoms in my squad. There are a few features, I don't know what it is. I know that when you're in Breakthrough and you take a sector, and retreating enemies get highlighted. But there's also stuff with Assault where you can see highlighted enemies through walls. This is not a Battlefield thing. Please remove it. I don't like it. Air vehicles, both jets and helicopters so far, don't have air radar. You have a mini map, and they'll show you an air vehicle if they're basically touching you. And then they're off the mini map. It's not scaled to be an air vehicle's radar. It's scaled to be a ground player's radar. It doesn't make any sense. Or mini map. A ground player's minimap. When a gunner in an attack helicopter locks onto a ground vehicle, it sounds so similar to the sound of you being locked on. It's really confusing, and I hope they either change it or allow us to mute that sound, so it's at least very different sounding. Well, I'm pretty much out of ideas for now. I'm going to post some stream highlight videos with commentary, and then of course I've got a bunch of no commentary videos coming out every Tuesday for now. I got 9 of those episodes. So if you like no commentary stuff, there you go. If you like commentary stuff, there you go. I have all this footage here, 12 minutes worth of footage here that I don't have audio for because I messed up some of the audio tracks when I was recording. Just going back and forth between streaming and recording. I had a lot of audio I didn't want in there that's in there. So yeah, the rest of this is silent, but I have nowhere else to put it. So have fun with that, I guess. If you want to watch that, cool. If not, understandable, because this is basically the end of the video. Also, if you haven't had a chance, check out the first video where I give my initial ideas and thoughts, and this is basically a second part to that. So if you've seen this one and not that one, you should probably check that one out. It also has audio in the footage for the gameplay, so that's nice too as an added bonus. I would like to take back something. I said that they should add cauterize to RPGs. It was a friend's idea. He pointed it out, and I like the idea a lot. But it is actually in the game for, I think it's the second tier of engineer. Tanks get healed less after getting hit by an RPG or something, so they actually did add that. So I take that back. I was just naive and I was new, and I was not aware that that was one of the, a mechanic there at the time. So it's very cool that it was. And I'm glad to be able to take something back out of all my criticisms because it was, in fact, there all along. Bye for now.